for maybe the most exciting time, wherever he went. There he is. Okay. So my name's Jeanne Lupton, and I host this venue, and I've hosted for 13 years, and this is the second time I'm featuring myself. And Clive invited me to feature at my venue. So I'm honored. So, okay, here goes. And I had a little something in mind, so I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. Are there people? Hi, come on in. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Okay. Blanche Dubois and I. At 65, I played Blanche Dubois in beginning acting class. At first, I'm thrilled. Then I have an identity crisis. I am Blanche Dubois, transparent, my dark past visible for all to see. Wait a minute. Blanche and I are the same but different. I like drink. I like romance. I too have cast my pearls before swine. Blanche and I, we are fallen Southern women from the fallen South. I was locked up in my 20s, like Blanche. Like Blanche, I lost everything. But I was locked up in 1968. I got out. There was help for me. I had a life after ruin. In Blanche's day, when a woman was destroyed, she stayed destroyed. Poor Blanche was put away for life. I am Blanche Dubois after therapy. Thank you. Thank you. I've read that poem at open mics and at features, and there's a reference in there to being locked up. And I never bothered to clarify, so tonight I'm going to clarify that I have a diagnosis of mental illness, which is a lifetime thing, and but with medication and therapy, you can have a good life. And so I have a wonderful life. And so I'm going to read, I had the onset when I was 19, and it wasn't for 16 years that I got a drug that helped me, and it wasn't for a few more years before I found a therapist who helped me. So I'm going to read two poems from the time before I found help. So this is called Stepping Off the World. And there's an epigraph. We have met the enemy, and he is us. Pogo made that famous, but it's actually from a 1970 Earth Day poster originally. It's raining. The September morning, I get in my Beetle, head out Route 50 to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, pay the $1 toll, drive to the highest part, leave my car running, emergency brake on, step out of the car and over the railing, stand on the ledge looking down at the water that I hope will take me. My old boyfriend, Paul, had hung himself a month before. What a loser, my father said. I'd hoped to get back together with Paul. I still loved him. It was a mistake to leave him. I knew he loved me. We were all we had. My father gloated this news of Paul's death, then went back to his book. I knew then I had lost my father too, to hatred. I had been my father's daughter. Over the next weeks, shock gave way to grief. I could not believe Paul was gone. I had never been so alone. Working at home, watching the Watergate hearings on TV, drinking Gallo Port all day, smoking Salem 100s, shopping for groceries at the 7-Eleven in the middle of the night. Paranoia undoes me. The world hates me. Any minute they will come, bringing unending torment. The mailman, the phone, the radio, the TV are in on it, even family. I don't eat, fearing poison, can't sleep, fearing capture. The bay calls to me, a refuge. Maybe I can be with Paul again in death. They would never let me die, but I have to try. A car goes by and honks. I step off the world and go unconscious. I'm awakened by someone screaming, help. It's me, choking, fighting the waves, screaming, help, help. Arms and legs flailing in cold, choppy water, struggling to stay afloat. Pain in my back. I don't want to drown. Help. At last a boat comes. A man throws me a rope. I grab it and hold on. He pulls me into the boat, back into the world, wraps me in a blanket. You're safe now, he says. I was adrift in the bay for 45 minutes. My spine was fractured. There were sharks. I was the 15th to step off the bridge and the 3rd to live. I'm safe now from imaginary fears and self-murder. Glad or sad, this body wants her life and won't let me go under. Some days my back doesn't hurt. Most days I'm glad to be alive. Thank you.
Lightened up so much at the end of that.
So the diagnosis, there's more to come, so hold on to your uppers. The diagnosis is schizoaffective disorder, and this lucky thing shares schizophrenic psychosis with bipolar depression and mania. But it's a milder disease than schizophrenia because toward the end of life, you can have a good life, but schizophrenics tend to decline toward the end of life or later in life. So one more from the dark times, and then we'll cheer up. So
I thought we already had.
that was a momentary lapse. This is called Quiet Room, and the epigraph is from Allen Ginsberg's poem, America. I can't stand my own mind. Deep in the night, an aide wakes me. They want you at the nurse's station. So it begins. The world has come for me. I follow him down Ward F. Hall. Your doctor's ordered more Thorazine. You woke me up for that? I just had my bedtime meds. That doesn't make any sense. They surround me, grab my arms, shove their hands hard into my pockets, groping for sharps. It has begun. I scream. The nurse shoots me with Thorazine. They let go and I slump. The aide walks me down to the quiet room. Mattress on the floor, fluorescent light overhead, padded walls. He closes the door. It has begun. I pace, look out the little window at Ward F. Hall. No one. Quiet. I try the door. I knock. Let me out. I lie down on the mattress and give up and fall asleep. I awake cold on the floor, no idea if it's day or night or where I am. It has begun. I can barely see. I try to stand and nearly black out. Get to my feet slowly and balance. Walk to the door. Look out. No one. I try the handle. Locked. I sit down on the floor with my back against the wall. It has begun. They will parade me naked down Route 50, throw rotten eggs, spit, put me in the zoo, never let me die. They have come. No, no. An aide opens the door. You can go to breakfast. That's it. So those are from the dark times, and I just want to emphasize that I have a great life now, and that's how I can write and even share these. And I haven't been able to share these at any other venues, so I thought since this is my venue, I could do it. Thank you. So here's another poem that I've read at open mics that references being locked up but without explanation, which now you all have the explanation. Okay, Tysons Corner Mall. On my days off, I drove my red 73 Carmen Ghia convertible to Tysons Corner Mall. I wore a cute outfit. I was getting and spending in those days. In a few more years, I would take early Social Security because I could only do meaningless work for about 40 years, and that was it. At Tysons Corner Mall, I shopped for Carol Little dresses, Jessica McClintock perfume. Every few years, I get paranoid and end up in the Northern Virginia Mental Health Institute out there on Gallows Road, not far from Tysons Corner Mall. When I got a field trip pass, I went on the blue bus with Vernon, the recreation director, and the other patients to the mall. I'd see the shoppers in their outfits with their shopping bags of success. Until recently, I'd been free, like they were, to do as I pleased. I looked the other times, too, when I went there in my car, when I was free and well for a time. I looked at the mental patients in need of haircuts and love, wandering the mall in little groups, eating ice cream cones. I recognized them. I'd ridden that bus. So thank you for listening to that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to read two new poems that are a little more fun. And I'm starting off with Another Disease, but this one isn't so serious. It's called The Senior Housing Affair. It's Tanka prose, which is a piece of prose followed by a 5-line Japanese form poem called Tanka. The Senior Housing Affair. He's 78, tall with broad shoulders and a beard. We're neighbors at Strawberry Creek Lodge. We run into each other in the parking lot, in the hallways, at the Friday night movie. When he says he wants me, I hear love, but is love what he's offering? For several years, we flirt, go to dinner, even make out on his bed. But I resist him, even though he's handsome. I no longer feel the need of a man. But he is a good kisser. He tastes all manly, and I like how he growls at me with a deep rumble. I like being wanted. I consider having sex with him. I tell him, I have herpes. Who have you been hanging out with? He laughs. Are you still interested? He nods. You could have told me earlier. I'm telling you now. Thanks. I'll take the medicine. Your risk is lower if you use a condom. I've never used a condom in my life. That was Wednesday. Thursday, I expect his call. Friday, I think maybe he'll call. A week passes. Can't he even tell me he changed his mind? I see him in the elevator, in the breezeway, at the tenants' meeting. He's friendly, even glad to see me, just like nothing happened. And here's the poem. Herpes, demon, guarding my gate, defends the treasure within from the faint-hearted. Thank you. So I'm going to wrap up with, hi.
Sorry.
It's okay. So this one's called Breakup. It's a new poem, and here goes. My partner in paranoia, my big dreamer, my panic attack, my accusation, my birthday butch, my Saturday night and all-day Sunday, my hike uphill, my silence, my alter ego on the dark altar, my borrowed trouble, my headache from too much not to drink, my stoner sentence, my tantalizing toy, my last call and first thirst, my jailer blackmailer, my guest for dinner, my dog's breath baby, my pain in the ass, my broke gazillionaire, my bed too soft, my chair too hard, my little Goldie face, my joke's on me, my anything goes, everything blows, my pajama snatcher, my shootout at the no-tell motel, my daisy up the nose, my lick it and split, my genius of the blank page, my 9-month voluntary confinement, my bloody lining, my upset down, my crack of the whip, my move to the city, my pretty, my what do you need, my how do you feel, my offered body, my too hairy body, my Hare Krishna bat mitzvah, my Dharma delta, my midnight gristle, my 3 a.m. listen, my 6 a.m. blister, my fee, nothing free, my parking ticket, my treat or tricket, my rose petal mommy, my don't call me daddy, my trouble with Harry, my gooey lobster, my fragile bully, my shit you not. Can we move on? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think that'll do it for me. And for you, I'll bet, too. Really more? Okay. 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 So, okay. Back to the Darkamour. This is 1967.
Yeah,
But it's pretty gruesome. Okay.
let's hear it.
It's in keeping with the Me Too movement.
Ah,
He's a grad student in economics. I meet him when I walk past his house looking for a room to rent. He calls hello from his porch. We talk. He phones a friend, a professor landlord. The next day, I have a little yellow room with a sloping ceiling in the top floor flat of the old frame house at 1137 Indiana Street on the edge of the KU campus. 3 grad student women live there. We each have a room, and we share a kitchen and dining room. One day, 2 weeks later, no one else is home. It's August, it's Kansas, it's hot, the front door is open to a breeze. I'm listening to a Chopin LP, drinking Maxwell House coffee, working on a story for creative writing class. I'm 20, already lost. I don't know how he knows which room is mine or that I'm alone. I hear someone climbing up the outside wooden steps to our flat, then knock on the screen door. I go to answer. He meets me in the hallway, pushes me back into my room, pushes me down on the bed, pulls at my jeans. I keep pulling them up. He holds my hands down and pulls off my pants. I say, stop, I don't want this. He says, you just want to be in control. I say, no, get off me. It happens fast. It takes forever. He comes, and he leaves me scattered among the high plains, creeks, cottonwoods, coyotes, to notes of Chopin in my yellow room. For 20 years, I tell no one. For 20 years, I don't use its name, even to myself. Rape. Okay. I know. Okay, well, how about a break, you all? You've done a good job. We'll take a break, have some goodies.
Okay.